everyone, it's Cheyenne, and welcome to the first and last game I have ever... hopefully this is running okay. I was late on making my video today. I almost forgot. And I kind of wanted to put off the final for what I think is probably going to be the last part of this demo for Resonant Blade a little bit longer. Just because I feel like there should be a build-up to it, you know? But mainly because I almost forgot. And I was just gonna try and find a quick game online, but then I thought, you know, I've talked all this stuff about this game that I made, but I've never actually brought it up. So as you can see, we're in for those of you who are taking computer programming classes or computer science classes, you've probably at least seen or maybe heard of Alice before. If you haven't, that's okay, because I didn't even hear of Alice before I started my computer science class. And I know that there are probably plenty of other programs to use, but my school used Alice 3. So I was going to show you guys a little bit of just, you know, for those of you who aren't in computer science classes or working on learning coding or anything like that, just a little bit of what goes into making a game just this simple. So that's, imagine this, but 3,000 times more, and that's probably the usual video game that you see played or that you've played yourself. So this is part of it. This is for ending 2 path 1. So I think I've talked about this game before, but I haven't, I haven't talked about it a whole lot, I think, about all the stuff that went into it. So this was actually not, oh dear, I've got my other computer right here, the one I use for drawing, and the wires are just all kind of right there. That's the other reason I was kind of avoiding it, is because I didn't set my computer off to the side or anything. It's just right here, and then the mouse is right here, and I didn't want to have to worry about stuff falling everywhere. So this is kind of part of what goes into it. Over here you can see all the stuff that I have pulled up, all the different endings. So overall there's probably maybe 4, maybe 5 endings. It says, oh gosh, it says 3 endings because I was only planning on 3. But the way, oh come on, get off my screen. Okay. Oops, what did I do? What have I done? What have I done? There we go. I haven't been on Alice in forever. I promised myself when I left the computer science class, for all the time that I was out of school, I'd be practicing with my programming, but I've really only practiced making a website lately rather than, and I haven't even done that recently, rather than working with Alice. So these are all the different pages that I have pulled up. My first method is right here. This is where, you know, it kind of started, and you see where I had to put in comments, for each thing. It was a part of the assignment. This is the introduction, choosing the path. I don't know if I'll show you guys all the paths, but I will show you the 2 main ones, and my favorite one, which is probably also the most depressing one, but it's the indecisive path. So I'll show you 3 endings. The really bad ending, the really good ending, and the indecisive ending. And in between those there are just kind of endings, and there is also another bad ending where you kind of get killed. So my original plan for this game was to do a whole little RPG game with this plot line in mind. And I was on the right path to figuring it out. I was getting it done. My teacher was so excited when I said I wasn't going to do the stuff that we had been practicing, because we were given complete, control over this. Of course, there are some parameters that Alice has that makes it a bit difficult, but for the most part, we were given complete control. And most of the students in that class were just taking it because they had to, which was technically what I was doing too, but I was really excited, especially when she said we would learn how to make video games. Now, this is ending up being more of a story than a game video. So this is what I made, and it's pretty much like a yes or no. decision path. And this is what I was going to make in the long run, but it was also going to be more of an RPG where you choose, kind of like in Undertale, which is where I got the idea, where you choose to fight or you don't choose to fight, and there would be like so many endings depending on what you did and what you chose to do and to say and all this stuff. But I never got to that because, like, in the beginnings of making it, everything was going really well, I was getting through it, and I hadn't saved in forever, which, as any of you know who have done any kind of big project on a computer, that is a bad idea, especially with programs. You need to save as constantly as possible. I lost so much that I ended up just doing something that was a little bit easier on me and a little bit quicker. So without further ado, this is my game. It doesn't have a name. Actually, it does, because it's also, the comic that I'm making is based off of this plotline called Shattered. So if I made a game based off of this plotline, that's probably what it'd be called. So, here we go. Oh, gosh, I forgot. I just realized you guys might not be able to see it. I'll be right. Okay, now that I have officially double-checked that you guys were able to see it, I went and pulled up the video. Let's get into the game. Okay. Here we go. So this is the whole intro sequence. You startled me. I was really proud of that beginning movement, by the way, because it took forever to make. Oh god, the walk. I forgot that the walk takes like 2 hours. I should have made this so much faster, but I didn't. So I ended up telling people they could just speed walk her, because the walk is one of the longest parts. And it's really not great. Welcome to my world. My name is Kalula. This is my game. I can't hear myself very well over it. And here you will be tested based on the decisions you make. On who you kill, and who you spare. Now, what brings you here? So, we're gonna do the true ending first. So for this, you answer true. You're here for truth. I see. How interesting. I wonder how long you'll be able to stay on that path. This is Greg. He is a murderer. He killed his wife as she slept in her bed. You have nothing to say for yourself, do you? What's wrong with that? I'm not saying what I did was right. Nothing can take back what I've done. Then why did you kill her? She was cheating on me. There was another man with her. And then you killed him too. It was a fit of anger. You said it yourself, Greg. Nothing can take back what you've done. Now it's time for your decision. This man has murdered 2 people in a moment of rage. Shall he live to see another day? Or will you end his life here is what I should say. Like I said, this ain't perfect. So I made this hoping that the answers would be really hard, but when I made it, I thought, everybody would see that the answer to the true path, in my opinion, was obvious. I learned very quickly that not everyone would immediately go for the true path, 1. And 2, that not everyone thought the same way I did. So this wasn't just a lesson of learning how to make this, it was also kind of me learning other people's psychology. So if you want the true path, you save him. It has been decided then. He'll live to see his trial. Maybe I should try harder. This is a Yeti. Well, a baby Yeti. When it's older, it will become a monster who will kill many. How do you know that? I just do. Now make your choice. So, I felt like this was kind of also one of those things that sometimes people are faced with. And it's a difficult decision. Do you let this baby thing live and possibly kill a lot of people, or take its life and never even give it the chance? Of course the answer is live. For the true path. Why? I just told you it would kill many. And yet you could not give me a solid reason to believe that. All life matters. There's no saying what this creature will be like in its future. Who am I to take away its chances? Alright then, there's just one more test for you. I really rushed at the end, so I didn't do a lot. Depending on how you make decisions, this could be the hardest or the easiest decision for you yet. This doesn't really matter. It doesn't quite change much. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we're back. So I'm pretty used to Alice tripping out on me because that's why I lost so much progress in the past. It's a big program, and it might be that my computer can't handle it, but sometimes it is simply just that Alice is a bit temperamental. Man, it sounds like I'm talking about shoot, it's a movie I really like. Resident Evil. Sounds like I'm talking about Resident Evil. The movie version, not the game version. Okay, so the quickest way to get to the indecisive path is to just say false to both. Standing on the fence helps no one. You have to make a choice. Okay, so here's where you say... Okay, hold on. I didn't know if I was still recording, so I went back. But okay, so this can get you killed. Oh, I can't remember which one it was. I'm pretty sure the right one is A. No, wait, this one doesn't get you killed, but the next question will. This one doesn't get you killed, it just changes what she says. A choice between such extremes is no choice at all. I am queen of this world. You will do what I wish you to. This is the one that could get you killed, because if you say if I don't, she kills you. You say, I will not repeat myself. Then shall we continue? If you say no, you're gonna die. So yes. That's one of that. This is the final choice. How nice it is to see me again. What are you doing? This is not a game, Kalula. These are people's lives you are toying with. It's a bit late to convince me to make amends, don't you think? You can save everyone. You have to kill me. This is me. I've killed many in my fear of confrontation. I allowed my spirit to be split in two. And because I was afraid of making things worse, I never helped people enough. I was never enough. I'll never be enough. So, shall I live or die? You have to kill me. It's the only way. So at this point, true ending is not possible at all. Your choices are to let her live, which, by the way, she's not asking to let the good version of her live, she's asking if she herself gets to live. If you say live, she kills you. So at this point, your only choice is to tell her to die. And that's what the good version of her was trying to tell you. She says thank you, she says goodbye, and then this guy shows up, he says, you saved many people, and for that we thank you. I'm sure you're wondering a few things, but I can only assure you this. Ooh. You have saved the tortured spirits that the queen killed. They are free now. And the true spirit of Kalula has been freed as well. Thank you again, and goodbye. And so this one is just end. It's not really a good ending, but it's not really a bad ending. Okay. I had to make sure it was still running. I was a bit worried. Alrighty. So run again. Either way, I'd have to go through this whole thing again, so we're just gonna speed through. Speed. Oh gosh. Walk. Welcome to my world. My name is Kalula. This is my game. You'll be tested based on who you kill. and who you spare. Now, what brings you here? So to get the bad ending, you say false to truth, and you say true to war. How funny. Let's see if you hold to your word. This young man is Philip. Where am I? Where are my parents? Quiet. Now. Please, Your Highness, I'm so scared. I said quiet, Brad. She's supposed to seem evil here, remember that. As I was saying, this is Philip. He's stolen food from the market and he is awaiting trial. Shall he die, or will you let him live? Please, I was just so hungry. So my whole point of this was just like the truth ending. I was trying to make the decision difficult. Of course, the people in my class when we played through this game, because my teacher used this game as an example, which I was very proud of, even though it's like nothing big, they wanted to get the war ending, so they chose to kill him. And that is the only way to get the bad ending, the war ending. So, if you say no, you'll get the indecisive ending. Or you'll die, which is a bad ending. Please, no! Then it has been decided. But it's supposed to get, is that the best you can get? It's supposed to get harder. It only gives you 2, I think, in this one. Alright, how about this? No, it gives you 3. Who she is doesn't matter. She's completely innocent, but here's the catch. If she lives, you die. And so I wanted to make this completely difficult, because to me, this would be a horrible thing. Of course, the people in my class, they're like, I don't want to die, kill her! But I wanted to make this hard, because she's a completely innocent woman. So, if you want the war ending, you have to kill her. How interesting. It is done. There's another choice after this. But it's not from her. Do you want to rule this world? Yes or no? If you say no, you die. Not from her. Well, maybe from her. I can't remember. But if you say no, you die. So if you say yes, she's like, what are you doing? Then you have to kill her, or would you rather save her? If you save her, you die. So you gotta kill her. No! This world is mine! As she dies, and then this. So, let me pause this real quick. It's paused? It's paused. Okay, I forgot that the music still plays if it's paused. This, as you're about to find out, is your character. So your character is actually, I don't know if you guys saw it, when it spun around, is essentially she looks like this, but with brown hair, different outfit. This is supposed to be the split soul of your character. Your soul split by doing so much evil that you have now become the ruling evil queen of this world. You've killed both the good side and the bad side in killing her, and she is your other soul's half. But the whole point of this one is that neither of your halves of your soul are good or evil. They're both just evil because you have done so much bad. So she explains that. The world is now yours to rule as you wish. Who are you? Do you not recognize yourself? I suppose I do look slightly different from you. I'm you, but really, I'm here more as your advisor. I'm here to serve your majesty. War ending. So, what would have happened if you had chosen to save the evil queen of that world? She would have died anyway. Because by then, by killing an innocent woman, your soul had already split by doing so much evil that your evil half would have killed her and then killed you. Or locked you away like the original evil queen had done to her other half. So I really wanted to make a full game out of that. And part of me still does. The problem is, first off, though there is a lot you can do with Alice, it does have kind of a lot of barriers. And second off, I'm not entirely sure where to start. And even if I was, I have a lot of doubt on myself about making it. But I thought I'd show you guys this because it was pretty interesting, and I'm actually pretty proud of it, despite the fact that there's really not a lot to it when it comes down to it. And also, like, I think it's interesting to show, people who don't really deal with this stuff as much, just how much goes into making a game, even if it's just a small game. Like, for the most part, these characters are all preset. You choose their hairstyle, their eye color, stuff like that. And it's pretty much all set up and pretty simple and laid out for you in the most simple of terms. And there are people who do this without this kind of program that puts all this together for you, that you just have to figure out how to put it in here. So it gives you these buttons and you put it together, but essentially there's still a big kind of help from this program that you don't necessarily get when you're building a game from scratch. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I've never been in actual game design companies. They could have programs. I don't know. All I'm saying is you don't always get that. And having that in this is really cool, and it was also a big learning step for me to figure out like just how much goes into making a video game. There's the movements, every single movement that your character makes, down to the finger joints, is put into code. I learned that, and this is why her hands were like this pretty much the entire time, because I did not feel like doing the coding for every single finger movement. I did not have that amount of time by the end of it. I had like 2 months, and that would have taken so long. It takes so long. Let's see if I can pull it up. My first method, intro scene. This is where most of the finger and arm movements are. There's finger movements, arm movements, eyelid movements, eyeball movements. Like, there was all of that. It's gonna take forever to open. Do I have to hit edit? It's gonna take forever to open. But just every single movement your character makes, even in this, there has to be coding for it. Like, it's not just what they're saying. It's coding for everything. You have to set it all up. And so, here it is. Like, this is just the head movements. This is turning to face her, straightening out her joints because she bends her hand. And, gosh. I did make this pretty easy because they did have a straighten out joints thing, which just automatically does it for you. You start out with her head turned, her hand bent, and all this stuff. But then even the walking movements, like, this is all for the walking movement. All of that. And it took so long to get it all. And this is just one page. This is just the page that puts it all together. This is like the map, the contents for, like in a book, you have the table of contents. This is the table of contents for my game. And this, like I said, this isn't even much of a game. It's a yes or no, and then you get this ending. So, yes, this was a big learning experience for me when I made this. And I really, if I want to get into making more of this stuff, I should be practicing with it. I'm not. But I do intend to when I get back into it. So I thought this would be fun to show you guys, and maybe for those of you who aren't in computer science classes or aren't like computer programming majors or have had nothing to do with stuff like this, I thought it'd be interesting for you guys to see. And I really do. I loved making this. I love doing the coding for this stuff. As frustrating as it is when you're making it, as frustrating as it is to look at it, like, the feeling that you get once a project is finished is awesome. And so maybe in the future I'll show you guys some other projects that I have made. They're all going to be websites because all the other stuff is like website pages that I had to learn how to make. But if you guys are interested in that, let me know, and we'll show that too. But for now, I've probably already taken up enough of y'all's time showing you guys the game. That was this. So, I'm sorry if you guys didn't really love it. I'm sorry that it's not Resonant Blade. I promise we will get back to that. But But I do hope that in some way you guys liked it or found it interesting, because I honestly and truly found this so interesting to learn and so awesome. Like, when someone else found it interesting, I loved being able to talk about it. And I loved that I found something that I like almost as much as I love singing or drawing or writing. And it's so amazing. And it's something that actually makes me feel like a little bit smart. Like, sometimes I feel like a really big airhead, and stuff like this kind of reminds me that I do have a brain up here. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Stay you. Believe in yourselves, because you guys are absolutely amazing, and I mean that. Don't forget that. Don't forget to dance today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.